And you, in fact, you describe that day in great detail, and it was certainly very traumatic for you. Going back and writing this again after having experienced it, was that a difficult process?
Very much so. I think I had to relive every single moment and think about it. I had to think about the words carefully to describe the sense of fear that I was experiencing. So in a sense it was therapeutic writing this book, but in another sense I think that it was very difficult to relive those moments and remember that the story of Marikana is not over. I still sit at the Marikana Commission of Inquiry, which just ended on Friday. And we still hearing these stories. It's every day hearing about what happened on the ground. People trying to discover the causes of the violence, the reason behind the police operation going wrong. So we're trying to discover what happened, and that's not what this book actually focuses on. It focuses on the story behind the story, just so that South Africans can also just get a general idea of what it's like to be a reporter in South Africa, but more importantly, covering one of the most historic moments in post-apartheid South Africa.
Now, following those stories, and especially your interactions with Elizabeth, there's no way that you could have just shut yourself off emotionally. So how did you manage to deal with that aspect of your reporting?
It was very difficult, and I think that as a journalist you're trained to go out there, get the facts and report. And that's exactly what I did. But it didn't for 1 second mean that I didn't feel. I went home every night and I really felt the tragedy of Marikana. And even coming back occasionally on weekends, I would feel that. When people would ask me questions on, oh, you must have been scared. Of course I was scared. Or, you know, what actually happened? This person was right, that person was wrong. And I used to actually become quite frustrated on how quickly people formed opinions, and I felt like they weren't there, they didn't experience what I experienced. And that's why I wanted to tell this particular story. But counselling, of course, came into it, and I did go for counselling for several months afterwards, just to speak about it. And I think writing the book is also, in a sense, therapeutic, because I'm speaking about the sense of fear and the emotion and the emotional attachment to this particular story. Yet at the time, I wasn't able to tell these stories, not because I'm withholding any type of information that the public should have known about, but because these are personal accounts, how it affected me.
Mm.